All right. Um, I'm hearing these people saying some horrible things because as they're prepping for framing me or they already frame me, they say the foulest things, especially because they want me to identify with this manipulation. Obviously, I'm not. And obviously, they know that this thing is going to come back to them one way or another. I don't care. It's funny. Last night, I was hearing them saying, I'm going to lose sleep for it. I was like, listen, don't sleep. Oh, sleep very well, please. I don't care what the sleep. Matter of fact, I don't even care if they end up dying today. Like, it will not do anything to me. But they'll tell me how I'm going to be feasted and everything. Listen, I know the torture I'm going to experience is torture from people who've been frustrated that I'm not identified with this manipulation. And so every time they make me have these stimulation experiences, they say these horrible things that are going to happen to me in the hope that I'm going to identify with them. Death comes to all of us. I rather suffer in these horrible ways and die than having to live these nasty ways they live and die. I don't know if there's a heaven or hell. I do believe in God. And I'm not even saying that in the sense of like, oh, if I do what they do, I'll go to hell. That's why I will not do it. No, I will not respect myself. I couldn't respect myself as a man or as a woman. I couldn't. It's such a degrading degrading life, and life is short. So this trash is dedicating this life. I just pray that they continue to live a long life of doing these things. They're trash and low life, but somehow everything has its time. We target individual. We gotta find dignity in our death. You could be living life like these bottom feeders. They couldn't even try to make themselves avengers or protectors or whatever bullshit they would try to make themselves be in front of me. Because the humiliation of reality, the testimonies, the reason why they want me to be tortured as much as I'm going to be tortured, is because they were trying to paint that image. But by every means, it's been shown that these bottom feeders are truly the threats to children and women in every ways you can imagine. In every ways. Not only they manipulate people to have these disgusting reactions, but they eat, live, drink that. But on top of that, this torture that they've done to us, men and women, they do that to children. There's good testimonials of it. For me, they will try to be like, you're paid for pay. And the anger they make themselves have is incredible acting. In the sense that you have so much anger for what I did as a child in middle school, but somehow you found a way to just kind of, when you hear the testimonies of the children you guys torture, suffocate, burn, kill, nothing, no emotion. What happened to that? Because I know what you guys do. They try to find a way to kind of hype themselves up as they do these horrible things to people. They do these horrible things to the most vulnerable you can imagine. Children, women, fried up, tortured in horrible ways. I mean, atrocities. Atrocities. We'll talk about things that you can't even imagine. They do that to children too. They burn kids using defense technology. There's testimonies of that. There's a woman who said clearly, me and my young child who've been test subject for these weapons. And we've both been damaged physically and psychologically because of this technology that does these things to us every day. The PSYOP, they wanted to present themselves as like we're this a progressive labor bullshit. They work for this Department of Defense that's been working on this technology for decades. And these tactics of PSYOPs have been utilized on so many others that people come up to this guy who've been interviewing them and they're like, the way they trick target individuals, which is what I am, is crazy. One target individual thought it was the next door 14-year-old neighbor. Other thought was that's the whole. They do the same thing. So imagine all these things that exposes them for the truth, for really what they're part of and what they do. While they try to now you paid for what they're in a program that kill children, that torture children. The tactics they've done to me have been well spoken about by others, literally, specifically. Matter of fact, I'm using the same terminology other target individuals are using to describe what's happening to me. To the T. I'm literally calling the pedophilia type of torture. That's what they do. Pedophilia type of torture is in my lingo because I heard somebody say that who's a target individual, not me looking it up. Oh, what you? No, I didn't come up with this, but it described what's happening to me. In my brain, I'm being. But you gotta be strong and see things for what they are. My brain is so manipulated. They can create a battle and have this back and forth on things that are just non-existent. When I moved to this building not too long ago, this is gonna be my second year. Well, hold on, it's been 2 years. Of course, the neighbors were gonna participate. I knew they're gonna be perps. I knew they're gonna be doing what they do. As I'm saying that they try to do something to me, I know they're gonna do what they do. But I'm going out, I'm leaving my apartment. As I'm walking to the elevator, I see two little kids, like maybe between 4 and 7, maybe 4, 5, 6. This a little boy and a little girl. And they were like, of course, I know they were told to walk there. And they were holding like pizza, and they're just like happy. It's like they felt like they were on a mission. Like super happy about it. I'm looking at these kids like shit. The reason why they have these kids going around is because they do the pedophilia type of torture. And in my brain, I know there's a little boy, but I can't even remember what the little boy looked like. I remember the little girl, and they're very adorable kids. But my mind now is just disgusted. It's just manipulated by this life in these disgusting ways. And so they were trying to make me imagine this scenario, this non-existent, this imaginative scenario, where when they pass by, I try to do something to them, and making me think that they're gonna say that this and this happened, and they were having battles, literally making me have mental battles on things that just imaginative, but to make me think, no, they're gonna say that this and this. Like, listen, I hope that's not true, because especially for the little kids, these babies, you don't put that on them. Don't put that curse on them. Own that curse for you. You know you're cursed for that. You know this thing's coming at a price. You know it's going to come one day or another. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it's going to come one way or another. You see your coworkers, it doesn't take genius, it's brave, anything. It just takes being compromised. Matter of fact, the tough part is to not be involved in this. So, please, for these babies, they're so innocent. These older kids, the teenager and all that, I'm like, okay, they are really, listen, they're not, I feel bad in a sense, because you're still a kid, you're still easily influenceable, but in their mind, they have this state of mind where they're avenging, and I know that these kids are going to be groomed at this point to be doing these horrible things to others. Because at this point, it's going to be something they're going to do for life. This is not and in my mind, they try to make me think of what I did as a kid. But these kids, they are doing that every day. It's like they're being trained and groomed to do these things. There is no way these people are going to be normal. They just tasted the feeling of feeling like a god when they're just nothings. I see the confidence they get out of this. So these people are grooming these kids to become this trash. I don't even want to become bigger trash, like this low life. But at this point, I can see how excited they get of whatever horrible things are going to happen to me. This is Department of Defense technology. But to the humiliation to know that the Department of Defense is so freaking pedophilia centric. People delivered some food at my place, and I was listening to this piece about this bill that was passed in 2019 called End National Defense Abuse Act. And I keep bringing that up, but this is a bill that was supposed to limit the amount of child porn these DoD employees use download use their computers to download. They try to implant that in my brain in different ways. It's disturbing, and the bill is supposed to limit that, and specifically on the devices that's given to them by the Department of Defense. And apparently, Child Protective Services ranked the DoD network for trafficking the most child porn within the network. They were 19th out of 2,900. And the bill was specifically, and in this, the person that is describing it, I couldn't imagine, like, it's just crazy. They were specifically talking about using the devices the Pentagon gave them. They don't use their own personal computers. They're using their work computers to download child porn. And imagine what they have on their private computer. Imagine how many more pedophiles are living in this within these agencies if they went through their private computers. Because if this is what those employees do on their computers, imagine what they do on their private computer. They rank 19th out of 2,900. And this is based on the network of the government, meaning their work computers. Their private computers then, oh gosh, how many more they can find? So I'm listening to that, it's like, this is truly insane. Like, it's not really like it's not painting the reality. It means that the amount of pedophiles that within these agencies, imagine there's a smarter pedophile there that's not using the government devices. I'm sure there's plenty of them. In my head, they try to like. There's plenty. So, just looking at the ones that are using the computers given to them by the government, Child Protective Services rank them as top tier trafficker of child porn. That's just looking at the devices or the network specific to the network, to the DoD. Are top tier consistently. That's those who are using the government devices in the DoD. It is crazy. If you go deeper in this, how crazy this is. So one guy asked this question: so why are they letting so many pedophiles in these agencies, in these entities? This for sure they know these things, because when they get to somebody, especially the high level, they go through everything in their life. Why are they letting so many pedophiles? This bill is just trying to stop the amount of child porn they're downloading using the computers given to them by these governmental entities, which is the DoD. They're saying, please stop using our computers to download your child porn. Now, you understand this reality, right? It's disturbing. These people are employed by this Department of Defense entities. The reason why my organs are destroyed is because I'm a test subject to that DoD entities. This technology is not some whatever fierce femme fatale, man. Like whatever my employers' technology, direct energy weapons. So you can imagine how they hate this reality being pushed in their faces all the time. Everything is orchestrated, I understand that, but they want to stay in character. It's hard for them to stay in character when these people are like, no, we mapped it, we make your brain, we looked at your brain when the brain was a kid. That's how they sound, and they try to sound like in this like smart. Well, we saw mapped it. It's you when you were a kid. Remember, you felt like that. You see, when you're 13, 14, you feel like that's trash. What the entities running this program are so pedophilia-centric. They passed a bill to limit the amount of child porn they downloading using the government computers. The computers the government is giving them, because these Child Protective Services ranked them as 19th at 2,900 in regard to the amount of trafficking child porn within the network. And these people who obviously do these things for the cognitive warfare that we're test subject to, when they need to have logic, the rationality of that nature, which I understand the reality of what this is about. I'm a test subject. They are using my brain, my body, as a way to see what works in regard of this cognitive warfare. So they're gonna do whatever cognitive manipulation to alter my mind in every way possible to try to make me accept these things. This is part of this program to push me into my death in that way. Some people were pushed to death, but it went the way that they also planned it, orchestrated, which was the mass shooting. Target individual lost their mind so much. What would you imagine if you pick a target individual who has a bunch of guns, who's well versed in shooting, who's been who does that all the time. You make that person lose his mind. He knows that this thing is not happening naturally. What do you think he's gonna do? He's gonna get his gun and it's like, I rather, if you want to push me to my death, I'll take these people with me. I know they're involved. I think they're involved, and they make them think that these people are involved, and shoot up this whole place. And these cowards are the low life there. We are at war, wearing their sweatpants, their peaches, doing the foulest thing you can imagine, and the children are the one getting shot at. To all my target individual, do you understand that they can even create a battle of things that don't even exist to try to make me have this back and forth in my brain of the time when the kids walk by? Of course, they give the stimulation. That was when I moved here, so 2022 or something like that. And so, give me the stimulation. But now, they try to make me imagine, try to do something to them. And having this back and forth in my brain, like, what? And really get angry. So all my target individuals, stay strong. Understand that's the capability of what they can do. They are pushing us into insanity. Just do not identify with these manipulations.